right, Cowboy Nation. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Let's rise up to the occasion. Yes. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. There's only two types of teams out there in the playoff. We already know what we need to do. Yes. Let this room fill up. It's war time. It's battle time. Let's go. As we began to talk a little bit about this, there's only two types of teams in the playoff. If you look at it collectively, there's only winners, then there's losers. And now playoff time is here, game day is here, and all we got to figure out is, are we the winners or are we the losers out of this thing? That's all that matters. Now we can look back at everybody that we got on the team. We can look at playoff experience, right? Collectively, from the head coach all the way down to the water boy that's squirting the water out to the players and getting the towels ready for those guys out there. The person that got the most experience is Jason Garrett. I believe he got 3 Super Bowl rings, right? And I know he's not out there with the helmet on. And he got to bring in his expertise, right? Who else we have? Cam Fleming, he got Super Bowl experience, right? We can utilize some of that. Who else on his team got some Super Bowl experience? They're going to have to figure out a way to pour that upon the rest of the guys that's out here, because we cannot have the mistakes. We cannot have the false starts. We cannot have the offsides. We cannot have the especially the penalties that we can't control, like late hits, unsportsmanlike conduct. We got to be all on one page. We got to be all on one mindset. Remember, all this year I've been talking about, it's all about the mind, the capacity of your mind. At least that should give you a +1 game, right? We cannot blow this right now, Cowboys Nation. There's a segment of Cowboys fans wanting us to lose. There's a segment of the national media hoping for us to lose. There's another segment of population of people that's saying, okay, the Cowboys just trash regardless, and I'm rooting for the opposing team regardless because they got the silver and blue on and they trash and they can't stand the owner and things like that. Jerry Jones got the experience too. Yes. We talking from the top to the top. This is from Graza. Appreciate you for tuning in to the nation. Yes, he got the experience. So we got to pour upon Chris Richard. Yes, guys, help me out. Help me out. Put down everybody that got this playoff experience and / Super Bowl experience, right? We must continue to fight. We must continue to battle. And we got to have our experience versus theirs. Now, this is the thing. Reason why I'm bringing up that is because we facing a team that been down into the trenches, that everybody had them out. Everybody thought that the Legion of Boom was over with. We playing against that team. We playing against a guy who with his mindset, with his knowledge, he was always taught that he was too small to play this particular sport. He wasn't smart enough to play this particular sport. He might as well go to baseball. We're talking about Russell Wilson. We talk about a coach who understood how the NFL whole system works. And this was like, okay, this was his second time at this thing with the Seattle Seahawks. So resiliency is what they got. Respect is what they got. Understanding of the football and what playoff nature is all about is what they got. And right now, we the babies coming in, trying to test out new things. Yes, Stephen Jones do, and Marinelli. Yes, Marinelli got some experience as well. Appreciate you, HE 2016. So we don't need to turn this ball over. No, we don't. American Cowboy, appreciate you for tuning in to the nation. Really appreciate you. Victor Medley, appreciate you for tuning in to this thing too. Good morning, nation. Yes. Let's get this thing going again. Let me give you this right here. Wake up, grab your coffee. Yes, for this segment, I want to talk game plan. The game plan is simple, but yet complex, right? I like when I say simple, but yet complex. This is the game plan. Run the rock. Let me repeat. Run the rock. I'm going to repeat one more time. Run the rock with Ezekiel Elliott. My main man, Elliott. We know last time when we were in the playoff. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong a little bit. Yes, we live like 95. Everybody know Ezekiel Elliott was averaging 6.7 yards a carry. And we got cute when we got to the money zone, green zone. We did. I know we had to play comeback and things like that. Ezekiel Elliott did a nice move against a linebacker. I mean, he was like a PlayStation move or a Xbox. If you guys play those things, shout out to those that's on the Twitch. It was a nice game, but we got too comfortable passing the rock. What I want us to do now is when we get close to that area, if Ezekiel Elliott is averaging 6.7 yards or beyond, or even 5 at this point, you give the rock to him. And then on top of that, what I would like for this team to do is to still with play action. This is the game plan. Should be the game plan. TOP, of course, take time of possession. And when you have the other team that likes to run the rock as well, when we get down there to the money zone, green zone, when we put money on the board, when we score, when we throw up our 6 points and 7 points or what have you, it put more pressure on them to be one-dimensional. It makes them pass the ball. And if we can make them pass the ball, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It can get medieval. I'm talking about medieval. 25 touches. Do everything that the analytics says about the Ezekiel Elliott, right? 25 or more touches, we are at this record. When Dak Prescott run the ball more than 7 times, I think it's more than 7 times Dak Prescott is undefeated. If I'm the coach with the experience, if I'm Jerry Jones with the experience, if I'm even on the defensive side, Rob Marinelli, Chris Richard, we look at the data and we say to ourselves, okay, this is nothing but a math game. It's a problem that we have to solve. So what we're going to do is do things to help us win these games. And I'm telling you right now, we take the handcuffs off Dak Prescott. We have the kid to run the ball because we know we don't want this. We need this. We need this like water. We need this win. For the Cowboy Nation, we're going to run this rock with Ezekiel Elliott. We're going to run Dak Prescott out. Of course, health is something during the regular season, but guess what? This game right here, there's 2 categories as we look at the subtitle. There's winners, then there's losers. The loser, they get a prize. You get a trash bag. You get to clean out your locker room. You get to shake hands of your fellow contemporaries, and you tell them, okay, you have a good off season. We'll see you. I hope to see you next year if you're not traded. That's how simple but yet complex this thing is. But if you win, oh wow, if you win, you move on to the next stage. And then that same set of problems exists. There's winners and then there's losers. But the prepared mind, the person who's ready, the person who studied, the person who grind, the person who didn't let small stuff get in the way, he's ready to face the challenge. Yes. So at this point in time, even though we may not agree with everything that we have, everybody have different opinions, right? And I always say this too, those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still, right? We say that, right? Because everybody have their own opinion, everybody have their own analysis, analogies, and everybody have their own thoughts, which is rightfully so within this organization. But I'm telling you right now, At the end of the day, facts are facts. So if Ezekiel Elliott's close to a win with 25 plus carries, then you do that. If Dak Prescott is closer to a win with 7 plus carries, then you do that. Facts. Facts of life. DT be the key to the pocket collapse. This is from Joseph. My thing is we have to look at that, and then the game plan as it relates to the wide receivers. I talked to you about the quarterback exchange to the running back. Let me talk about the wide receivers, and then I'm gonna talk about the tight ends, and then I'm gonna end that particular topic about the offensive line, and then we may can talk about play calling and things like that, and then we can talk about the defense. Is that okay with you guys, Nation? Is that okay with you all? You guys got nothing else to do, right? All right. Wide receivers talk. Who's the MVP of the wide receiving core? One can argue the fact and say, okay, Amari Cooper. We can give him that. We saw when he was able to elevate this team when he came aboard. We can say that. But as of lately, I'm going to tell you guys who's my MVP of this wide receiving core. Stephen A. Smith may not think it is. Skip Bayless may not think it is. He even gave the guy a nickname. He called him Measley. Beasley, right? To me. And this is my opinion, right? Cole Beasley is the MVP of this wide receiving core. He's the guy with the most experience. He catches the clutch passes when it's 3rd and 11. He's the go-to guy. He is the Jason Wittens of the world for Dak Prescott. He's the money down guy. I can go back. Oh, Law, do you have any proof on that? Yes. I can go back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. It was 3rd and 11. The guy stretched out to the high heavens to catch the ball and pluck the ball out of the sky and got a chance to continue that drive. One can argue and say, well, hell, they was already in the playoff. But no, the continuity and the poise is there. We can go back to several other games. Cole Beasley right now is the MVP of this particular wide receiving core. In lieu of what Amari Cooper is doing, of course, I love Amari Cooper. He's going to get the attention. Trust me, Amari Cooper deserves that, right? He's going to have a guy over the top and underneath. But to the go-to guy of this particular offense will be number 11. He will eat today. This game is designed for him to eat. Okay? They're going to play roll coverage. They're going to roll the coverage over to Amari Cooper's side. They're going to have, somehow, they're going to try to bracket cover number 13 on his team, Michael Gallup, the silent assassin on the other side. We got 2 silent assassins. It's just crazy, right? But what we need to do is when they insert Tavon Austin and they got Cole Beasley out there on the field at the same time. Yes, it's disguised. Yes, it may not look pretty to most for like a 6 or 7 yard slant drag route or comeback or what have you. But damn it, it's one-on-one Cole Beasley versus a linebacker or Cole Beasley versus a safety. Let me know, who would you rather throw the ball to? Would you rather squeeze it and force it to Amari Cooper, or would you rather get that 11 and 12 and just cut them up, galvanize that defense down the field? It is quite possible. It is quite possible. Now, that's my thought on Cole Beasley. Now, my thought on Amari Cooper. I was listening to Brian Broaddus very closely. I listened to him. That's my brother. I can't wait till the offseason. Hopefully me, Vash Lombardi, we're working out things to get Brian Broaddus not onto the show, but into a room where we can go over some film and tape and go over a lot of things and bring in some new ideas for the next year, what have you. But this is the thing. Appreciate the donation to help grow the nation. This is the thing. This is the thing right here, Cowboys Nation. Amari Cooper, all we need to do, he had 2 slow-go routes last week. 2 of them. If he'd have caught the ball, he would have had 2 touchdowns, 109, or what have you. If Dak Prescott was on the same page with him, he would have had 120 something yards in the air, right? And everybody would have been like, man, Cooper is back. But what we need to do now on those logos, because he can always run routes. That's what Brian Brother said. We're not worried about Amari Cooper's route running. It's going to be there. The defense going to look at it like, oh, man, I thank God that the pass was overthrown because he killed me out there on the edge. Remember, there's winners and losers, right? So my thing is with Amari Cooper, if he can get that 1 or 2 big plays out of this game, it opens up everything. Oh, my goodness, it's opened up everything. So with that being said, the game plan for Amari is to get him the ball early and often, of course. But if we can connect with 1 or 2 big plays, that's all we need. That's all we need. But Cooper, he's lining up as the Z. He lines up as the flanker positioning, and he does his job out there. But he helps elevate everybody else. But I still give the MVP to number 11, Cole Beasley, because he's going to be the go-to guy. He's going to be the guy that gets all the receptions there, and he's going to capitalize. A sure hands catcher, when the ball touches gloves, it's going to be received or what have you. Now let's look all the way over to the X side of the ball, right? We talked about number 13, Michael Gallup. Gallup, my goodness, the Gallup report been great because the chemistry and the development of Dak Prescott to Gallup is improving. Now he will be a guy that when we looked at the 3rd game of the year, Gallup was the guy that the ball hit him in the chest, it bounced off, and then somehow miraculously, if I can say that word, number 29 of the opposing team was able to catch the INT. That's not going to happen today. That's not happening today. Gallup is focused. Cole Beasley is focused. This whole entire wide receiver core is focused. And did I mention the X factor of this team of all together? Tavon Austin, Speed Force. Everybody got to understand that you can't bracket force. You can't bracket coverage everyone when you got a number 10 out there who can kill you, whether it can be lining him up on the outside and he can take the top off the defense there or motion him back into the inside. And now you have to worry, do I motion and move my linebacker on him or do I supplement my safety over him? And you got Cole Beasley on the other freaking side. This is just me talking about the wide receiver core. And then I'm going to use my word again, sprinkle. Sprinkle Allen Hurns in here. Shout out to Mama Hurns if you're listening. I'm not talking about your son, but we want to sprinkle him into the mix and we can have a fantastic day. I'm telling you right now, we can have a fantastic day. And let's move along to the tight end play. There's 2 guys on this team that's going to play this today. I know Rico, he's been into the mix, but there's 2 guys that I'm talking about that I looked back at tape for the last 3 weeks. Schultz and number 89, Blake Jarwin. These guys right here, the tandem that they utilize and work with each other. When Schultz lines up in line, the guy can block out of this you-know-what. I like the fact that 86 is giving in to this offense, and he's picking up everything. He's being that extra block guy and sneak out the backfield and turn it on the hitch at the 5 and 6 yards marker. And then my other guy, number 89, is taking it up the seam. Number 89, this game can be one of those games where he can be an unsung hero. He can, because we saw what happened. We saw what happened against the Giants. And I think that they're going to add a little bit more to what the game plan was against the Giants today with number 89. And let me talk about this offensive line. We talked about the Tyron Smiths of the world, right? And although Clam, he got the most, I guess, playoff experience than anybody on this offensive line, all we have to do at this point is stay focused. We're going to have our lunch. We're going to have a full plate of food. And we can't eat our sweets too quick, right? So we're going to have a sound mind. Remember, I'm talking about the mentality, the mental warfare of this team. We have to figure out a way not to get holding calls, not to get false starts. If we play that style of football, the stadium should be quiet when we got the ball, right? Collectively. So we're so excited. Yes, Katie calls it. Yes, we are excited, John S. Appreciate you, Nathan. Yes, Will Redding. Appreciate everybody. Spiffy AC. I know who you are, Spiffy AC. Amari Cooper. Appreciate you for tuning in. So it is what it is at this point. Look, what we got to do is Spiffy AC is Spiffy Amari Cooper. I told you. told you that's Amari Cooper. I'm just playing. We got this, Cowboy Nation, one way or another. But what I'm saying collectively, if this offensive line just play a solid game. I understand Connor Williams, he may be the guy that's going to play left guard today. And he's going to have his hands full. He will be like, Mama, I can't carry nothing else. But what he's got to do with that, he's going to play a guy with a power inside rush who's going to try to attack the middle of the field and the core. So Looney got to have his mind turned and have his head turned to this left and have that stable line of communication, because we do not want Tyron Smith to help out Connor Williams. Tyron Smith going to have his heart. He's going to have his, like I said, he's going to have a full entree. So I'm not worried at all. I'm going to repeat, I'm not worried at all on the right side with Zach Martin. I'm not worried about Lyle Collins, believe it or not. That right side of the offensive line is cool. The middle of the offensive line is decent. Looney is decent. I love what he does for the team. And also, I love the fact that this communication and the growth factor with Looney is good. It's good. Oh, my bad. Tony the Tiger is great. But we got to play soundly. You can't get a holding call when Ezekiel Elliott hit it up the seam, or when we finally connect with Amari Cooper and it's a 50-yard pass and we look back and we see flags out there. We can't have that. We can't have that. So if we switch over and talk a little bit about defense. When we talk a little bit about a defense, when we switch and make that switch, I'm going to tell you guys right now that all we got to do, let me see if we can do this right here. Yes. Appreciate it. Appreciate the donation.
We are not to be denied.
There you go. Calvin, is it Calvin? Appreciate it. We are not to be denied. We are not to be denied at all. Let's switch over to defense. Thank you for the donation to help grow the nation. Your dedication to help support the nation is everything. The adulations and the inspirations for this give me the courage and the strength to bring up and elevate everybody with my mind and my soul and body, right? And spirit. You can throw that in too. Look, this is the thing, Cowboy Nation. As we begin to talk a little bit about the defense, let me do this right here. I got to do this. Yes. Crunk right quick. Defense. Hot boys. Let's get this defense going. Yes, that defense. Oh, man. One can say this right here. Defense carried us all this year. And now it's time for this defense to cash it in, right? It's time for us to get lights out. It's time for us to chase. It's time for us to play a sound defense. It's time for us not to be confused. It's time for us to be knowledgeable of what the actual Seahawks are trying to take away or trying to put in. It's time to cover the zone attack, because they do a run zone scheme against the offensive line. So it's time for us to play our gaps consistently. It's time for us to be patient, because they're trying to set up one thing and we can't bite on the play action, because this team loves to run the ball, even if they gain only 2.9 yards a carry. That's their whole mindset. Old school, good old football. If you like old school football, you should love football today. You got a team. Bill Parcells said, if you show me a team that got good defense and can run the ball, you got a playoff team. It's amazing to me that these two teams are mirroring one another. You got a team that's got good defense, and you got a team that can run the ball. So with that being said, all we got to do is figure out a way not to chase upfield too quick. And notice this right here. When you're a guy on the defensive line, that front four, when somebody break loose free and it just so happened to be too easy, know that that's a screen pass to lock it. We need to have somebody who can diagnose this thing just like that. Look, we go back to stats, and right, what Colin Cowherd says, stats don't matter, but stats can paint a real big picture though. You got to utilize stats in order to improve yourself, right? Look, Russell Wilson got 35 touchdowns and only, I think, 7 or 9 interceptions or what have you. But out of the 35 touchdowns, most of the time the ball that's traveling in the air is not beyond 20 yards. It's those little bubble and his little smoke screens that he does out there. It's a little hitch passes, and he's able to take those balls and pass it to the Lockett's of the world, who can get skinny and small and travel upfield. So this is a game that we can't have our guys tackling the opposition too high. We can't have helmet-to-helmet deals. We cannot give those Seattle Seahawks second and third chances. I recall looking back at that first game, drive killings. We end up getting them 3 and out, but what happened? We look back and there's flags on the field because there's roughing the quarterback. Tyron Crawford was able to fall on the body of Russell. We can't have that this game. We can't give them extra life. This year, our DB's been playing a hell of a good job out there in space, especially when the ball is traveling in the air. As far as PI calls and things like that, we've been getting our head turned around, or we've been playing the ball. If we continue to play the ball, they're not going to call PI. We play the ball. We don't give up on the route. And then on top of that too, Jeff Heath, if you're not sure that you're ready to deliver the boom, don't tackle too high and don't try to get too cute with the shoulder love. Look, we have to be able to be efficient. My guy Woods, we know what he's going to do. He's going to deliver the thunder, right? So wrap up. Yes, John S. There we go. Go back to what brought us here, tackling well, right? Chasing out to the ball when it's needed to be. Patience. Because right now our track record against running quarterbacks or quarterbacks that's mobile quarterbacks, it's just not a good track record, if I can be honest with you all. So we got to get him down. We got to score early and often. We got to make this team one-dimensional. So when we get the ball, we get opportunities. When the ball is a fumble, you dive on it. Don't try to get too cute. If you know you can scoop it up and run and catch it and run it and catch it and run off into the money zone, good. Do that, Jalen Smith. Do that, Randy Gregory. But we have to have a focused mind out there. In the stadium, I must say, we got to have our 12th man now. The stadium, everybody going to have their white on. Everybody going to have their silver and blue on. We have to be so loud that we can have the Seattle Seahawks to burn a timeout. I recall a game where I think it was against the Eagles. They challenged too much or what have you. Defense, the sound, everything. Throw them off kilter. That's how you win in the National Football League. Remember, there's only 2 types of teams out here today. There's winners and there's losers. At the end of the day, before sunrise again, somebody's going to be crowned to go to the next level. Who are you right now? Cowboys Nation. Are we the winners or are we the losers? Are we the guy that's be looking around for the ball and say, hey, what happened? Why is he free right now? No, continuity, poise, persistent and consistent. All that stuff, you put that all in one bag, basically. We don't need to be trying to discover a new thing. I was live on Mark Holmes' show the other day, right, last night, basically. He brought up a brilliant point. Remember this, and what this sound familiar to all of you all. Remember, in 2016, all our young DBs and everything was playing okay, decent. Anthony Brown was playing okay that year. He was playing very okay. Made us forget about Mo Claiborne. But during the playoff, he was able to be healthy enough to get out there and play. And we was like, whoa. When Mo Claiborne playing earlier that year, he was solid a little bit. No harm. He's the veteran guy. Let's throw him out there. Keep in mind, of course, yes, against Aaron Rodgers, but what happened? Mo got burnt, boy. Boy, they're burning Mo Claiborne like a Roman candle. He was getting burned left and right. So we need to not have that type of mindset and that type of temperament out there and saying, okay, just because he's the veteran, he's get the start in time. No, We ride the horse that rode us in. Ride on the horse that we rode in on. Winners win. This is not a politician game. Politics. We don't need to do that. Yes. Yes. So all I'm saying is, Cowboy Nation, let's focus our mind. Let's get this thing going around. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Who else we have here? Appreciate everybody for tuning in to the nation. Yes, indeed. Joshua, appreciate you. Out of people we have, DeMarcus Lawrence, Byron Jones. Zeke says he wants the extension this year. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Mira Wilson. Yeah. It is what it is. Dr. Cooper, appreciate you for tuning in to the nation. Cowboy Nation. If this defense can play a sound mind, and I'm going to talk about that kicker too, Graza, we'll be all right. There's two other things that I want to touch on a little bit. Two other things that I really want to touch on. Are you guys listening? We cannot put the game in the hands of the officials. The officiating is going to be their job to do. That's their job. We cannot put this game in the foot of Brett Mahar. We can't. We cannot rely on the kicker to win it for us. We can't. We just can't. We can't put this game in the foot of Brett Mahar. We got to play a good style of football. Now, I would take a win, of course. Brett Mahar for the win. 50-yard field goal. Yes, Brett Mahar with 30-yard field goal. I don't want that to happen. We should play sound enough so that we can actually get out there. And score touchdowns, not field goals. I'm telling you guys what I'm feeling right now. And then on top of that, before I get this thing going one way or another, Jordan Lewis, I would love to see the style of football with Jordan Lewis, what we play like with the Saints. I know it's two different dynamics of football teams, but I like Jordan Lewis out there. If he can play that style of football, that would be great. Yes, Miles. Yes. Yes, we're so ready for this game. So with that being said, guys, let's play this game right. Let's play this game smart. There's only two types of teams out there. There's winners and losers. All we got to do is play our style of football, and we will become winners. Well, we are already winners, but we will be the ultimate winner of the playoffs. Time of possession. I'm going to recap. Run the rock with Ezekiel Elliott. Dak Prescott minimizes his turnovers. Don't hold on to the ball too long. Know that he have a safety valve now at number 89. The MVP of this game will be number 11. He will galvanize this particular defense. He will find a soft spot in the zones. If not, if the dictations of the role of the defense covered number 11, then number 19 will eat. One-on-one onto the outside with no safety over the top, I would take that. Number 19 will eat. Pick your poison type of football. I love it. Hey, it is what it is at this time. Defensive-wise, Randy Gregory, Antoine Barbecue Woods, my guy Malik Collins. I think we're going to call out number 96 this day. I think it's time for him to step it up too. So it's going to be one of those games where we look at the score sheet, or we're going to look at the tackle sheet, and we say, hey man, this 96 guy was explosive today. Good Lord, these hot boys are coming in all types, shapes, forms, and fashions, right? So and then on top of that, D-Law, I think he's really, really ready to punch somebody in the mouth. Let's get this thing going one way or another. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content. I try to get to at least 100 likes per episode. If not, I feel very miserable. I feel very bad inside. So all we got to do is stay focused and control the things that we can and get that 100 likes up, man. Appreciate it, everybody. I really appreciate your dedications and all of the love and adulation that you guys got. Yes, we're going to put the Wolf Hunter out there, LVE and Jalen Smith. Just continue to do that. Yes. Yes, continue to do their things. If they continue to do theirs, then we can do ours, right? And I'm talking about the linebacker core. Let's go, Cowboy Nation, one way or another. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. We will be back a little later on to call the game or whatever inciting news that we have throughout the day. You might see me live on Instagram or through via my phone on the YouTube. But let's go, Cowboy Nation. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. You guys know what's going to happen, right? There you go. Let's go, Cowboys Nation. Let's go. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Thank everybody for tuning in. Spiffy, Dr. Cooper, Sabu. Appreciate you. Thank you for being part of the nation. Yes, let's go, Cowboy Nation. Smash that like button, slap it, beat it down. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Victor, appreciate you. Love Boat, what's up? On your war face. Yes, it's battle time. Of the mind. How bad do you want it, Cowboy Nation? How bad do we want this day? Remember 3 and 5? Let's go, Dak Prescott. Put up 250 yards. Zeke, put up 150 for me. 4 touchdowns. Come on. Yes. Hey. Gronk. Winners, winners. Put down in the chat box, we winners. Let's get that positive energy out there. And remember, you all are listening. I mean, you all are listening to absolutely nothing but the best. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Let's go. Warrior level, all-time level up, baby. Let's go. Yes. Yes. Let's go, Cowboy Nation.